Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how I made the picture frame, the image for the picture frame. Um, and the image is actually 18 by 24. Not the actual image, I'm sorry, but the picture frame is 18 by 24. That's the size of the frame that I used. And so I'm going to show you the supplies that you'll need for this particular project. So this particular project will require you to utilize your 12 by 24 green mat. Um, this is this will allow you to get the large image. Now that doesn't mean that if you want to do this project with a smaller image, that's a 12 by 24, you could do that as well. But I'm just going to show you today how to do it on your 12 by 24 mat. So that's the mat. You're also going to need some 12 by 24 cardstock. So I got this cardstock at Michael's. It came with, I think, about 20 sheets. It may be 24, I don't know, but it has black, white, or like a cream, gray, and I think gray, black, and a cream. That's what it is. Gray, black, and a cream. And I thought I had white in here. Okay, I guess it's just gray, black, cream, and white. So whatever color cardstock you choose to use. Now again, you can do this project on a 12 by 24. I'm only going to be working with 12 by 12. I'm only going to be talking about the 12 by 24. Okay, so if you experienced crafters out there, you guys will know how to modify it to do it on the 12 by 24. And then I've already framed mine. So this is the paper that was inside the frame that I used. I got this frame at Walmart, which was an 18 by 24, and it says poster frame. And I think it was like $5. It might have been $4 and some change, but I know it wasn't more than $5. But an 18 by 24 size picture frame. Now you can use whatever size frame you like. I'm just sharing with you what I used. And then these markers, these pens are Cricut pens. One is a gold and one is a silver. And these are medium tips. So the great thing about these is that they have kind of like a little metallic kind of look to them. So it shows up really pretty on the black. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, if you want to put it on a lighter color, like if you wanted to use the beige tannish color or the gray, then you could also just use a black. But I don't have these. These didn't come in a black metallic. But that's the reason I wanted to do this project. I've actually had this cardstock that I got at Michael's. I think it was on sale for like $15, and that's why I bought it, because I was like 20, it's either 20 or 24 pieces of cardstock, for 15 bucks. Pretty good deal. At least I thought anyway. And I bought these markers, I don't know how long ago, but I also got them at Michael's. But they are Cricut pens. And you always know Cricut pens because they're going to have the little marker little thing right there where you line them up when you put them in your cutting machine. All right. I used Cricut Design Space for this project. Now, someone in my group said that they wanted to do it with a silhouette. I don't have a silhouette, so I've used the silhouette software before, and it's fairly simple. You have a couple of different things that you can do in silhouette that you cannot do in Cricut Design Space, especially when it comes to sizing. But I don't want to get caught up with going between silhouette and Silhouette Cameo and Cricut Design Space. So I just focus on Cricut Design Space. All right. Okay. So I think I told you everything. Your 12 by 24 mat, 12 by 24 cardstock, 18 by 24 picture poster frame or poster board frame that I got at Walmart, and then your Cricut pens and Cricut Design Space. And you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. And the reason you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock is because your cardboard or your cardstock is 12 by 24 and your picture frame is 18 by 24. So you're going to need an additional piece of cardstock so you can cover up the sides of where your 12 by 24 didn't cover up the picture frame. So hold on 1 second. All right, so here's the picture for you guys to see. So you can see the 12 by 24 is in here. And then I took the extra piece of cardstock and folded it in half and then cut it. And I put one side here and one side here, but you can't even tell it. Okay. So this is what I'm going to be showing you how to make today. Oh, and the other thing you'll need is your image. So this particular image I got off of Google. And that's the image that I'm going to be showing you how to make today. Now I'm going to get you up to the process where you will print it out and talk you through loading it up into your machine and all that good stuff. But I'm not going to be printing a second one because I don't need a second one. But I will get you up to that point. Okay. All right, guys, I will get you started here. All right, guys, here we are inside Cricut Design Space. And inside Cricut Design Space, I'm going to be uploading the image that we're going to be working with. So just to answer some of your questions, this is where I got the image from. And what I searched for in Google was, I went to Google and I searched for African naked silhouette art. African naked silhouette art. And what I was looking for was an image that would do well with the draw. So you can select images like this. You have to keep in mind that with Cricut Draw, all it's going to do is just draw around the shape of the body, okay? Because it's just black, okay? However, if you want to get more details with Cricut Draw, you have to utilize something that has some white space inside of the black space, okay? So like this one would do well with the Cricut Draw because you would get this also, the shape of that of Africa, I think that is drawn inside that photo. This would do well as well because you have some white here. So you would be able to tell that this is a woman kneeling, getting ready to beat on this bongo or whatever you call it. But this is the image that I used. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this image, and I'm going to right click it and hit Save Image As. Now I already have the image on my computer. So okay, so in my desktop under, let's see what I called it. Okay, I'm going to put it right here up under drawings. So I'm just going to say save, and let me make sure it did right. Hold on, because yesterday when I did it, it did something different. Hold on. Okay, this time it did pick up the JPEG. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. So I have my image. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to remove.bg. RE. Okay. Remove.bg. And what we're going to do here is we're going to remove the background from that image, as much of it as we can. So we're going to have remove BG to do the job for removing the white space for us, and then we'll have to clean up some in Cricut Design Space. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this image. And what remove BG will do, if you've never used it before, it's going to remove that white background for us. And then anything that we need to clean up additionally, like this white space all around here, we're going to do it in Cricut Design Space. This one didn't do a very good job. But I'm just going to hit download image, and it's going to show here on the bottom left hand side of your screen. And all you have to do is just open it. And then we're going to right click and save as, and I would recommend that you put it right back into the same folder that you just took it from, and it's going to have the title with remove BG in it, so you'll know that's the one that has had most of the background removed. So we'll hit save. So you have to remove the white space. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Cricut Design Space. On the bottom left hand side, I'm going to select upload. You guys can see I already did my image, but I'm going to walk through it with you. So I'm going to upload image and browse, and we're going to go and select that file that has remove BG in it and open. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to select complex because we're going to have to do a bit of work on here to get this image to where we need it. So you're going to select complex and continue in the bottom right corner. Now, over on the right-hand side, you're going to have a zoom in, zoom out functionality. I'm going to need you to zoom in, which is the plus sign, because we need this image to be as large as we can get it so we can see this white space really good. So the first thing that's going to show up on your screen are these crosshairs. It looks like a little plus sign going across my screen. I'm going to click one time, and it's going to take out the majority of the white for us. And I noticed there's a little line going around this image. We're going to clean that up. But what I need you to do is just to click anywhere you see white space. And that's why it's important that you blow this image up as large as you can get it. And start just clicking wherever you see white space. Now, if you click the black, you do not want to click the black. But let's say I click the black by accident, then you have this button right here that's undo. So just click undo and it'll put it back, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some time to remove some of this white. So wherever I see white space, and I didn't even focus on these dots because that's too much work. If you got that kind of time on your hands, then knock yourselves out. But I did not do any of the little dots. I left them as is. But the main thing is making sure you get some white space here so that you can separate the neck, because otherwise it's going to look really, really funny. Like you won't be able to really tell where the head goes and everything. So you want to try to get, oops, I hit black, sorry. You want to try to get a little bit of that out. And so we're going to click on the white space. And as I'm clicking on the white space, you may not be able to tell, but it is removing this white space in here. You'll have some areas that may be a little bit harder to kind of get out, but you want to just click wherever you see white space, because that's what's going to help to define your drawing. So I'm clicking in the larger white areas to get some of this space out for the dress part. Now, some of the larger circles like this, I did click because they're easy to kind of see and get in there. So I did get rid of some of those. And as you're doing this, this is going to be the most difficult part of the process. After this, everything is easy breezy. But it's just clicking to get some of this white space out, because again, when you use Cricut Draw, if you don't have anything to separate, you know, details like this, then it's just going to draw around the shape of the image because it doesn't have anything inside to draw. So this is probably why a lot of people don't use Cricut Draw, because they are using the wrong images. And I kind of clicked a little bit of the black there, and I didn't mean to. And I'm going to make sure I get around the wrist area so that her little bangle here is defined. So the good thing about this is you don't have to worry about any cutting, you know, and weeding. You don't have to weed anything because this is a Cricut Draw project. So this is basically putting your cardstock on your large mat, putting it in your machine, loading your Cricut pen, and letting Cricut draw this image for you. So when you think you've gotten most of the white that you can get removed, because again, I'm not removing these little bitty dots, I'm not clicking on those. You can if you have that kind of time, but I'm not doing it. Excuse me, and I didn't do it with my the image that I worked on. I did not do the really little bitty dots. Main thing again is blowing this image up by doing a zoom in so that you can see inside these, because sometimes you'll think you clicked and it took out the white and it may be, you know, left some in there. So I think I got the bulk of what I want out, but on the bottom half here, I'm going to go up to the top and work on that a little bit. Okay, let's just make sure we got these. I can't stress enough, try to get as much of this white space as you can removed, because that's what's going to make your image so pretty. Now, I don't think any one of ours, if you guys are going to utilize this image, will look the same, because it just depends on how much of this white space you removed. But I think if you got the kind of time to sit and do those dots, I think that the reward would be beautiful in the end, because you would have more details in your drawing. So I'm just going in here, trying to get some detail in the top part of her headpiece with her hair. And like I said, you can't really see some of the white that's being removed because this particular image is not really drawn well for this. Make sure you get this part right here, because it's going to define the face. You want clear definition on that. And like I said, this is the hardest part. Make sure you get around the earring so you can have some definition there. And because it's harder to see what's being removed from here, I just keep clicking. Not clicking the black, I'm just clicking wherever I see white so I can get as much definition as possible. All right, so once you get as much as you think you have or can remove, then you're going to preview it. In the bottom middle of your screen here, there is a little preview button. We're going to click on that. But before we do that, there was this line going around. So over on your left-hand side, you're going to select this eraser and make it as large as you can just by dragging it to the right. And that is too large, Doris. Okay, let me take it down a little bit. And it's only that large because I increased the sizing. Oops, I hit a little bit of the black and didn't mean to. So I'm just going to hit erase. But make sure you're only getting that line, and you can kind of see it. It has kind of like a little bit of gray around it. And I'm just scrolling my mouse, trying to make sure I get everything that was on that side, cleaning up any line. So right here, hopefully you guys can see that, but there's some gray there. And I've been doing this a long time, so I can kind of see it a little bit better probably than you might be able to. So all this got some little gray line going up it. And you'll see it when you click on preview, it'll show you that you have that in there. So I'm just going to go around and make sure there is nothing in here. That I do not want. All right, so now I'm going to click on this preview button here. And it's going to show you what you have. So the way I'm going to explain this is wherever you see any little, all of this right here, it's going to draw that. It's going to draw all that definition in there. You'll be able to see that this is the hand. You'll have all this definition in here. There's the necklace. So this is where I said be careful with the headpiece, because you see how it looks like, to me, you can't see where her earring and everything is. So I'm going to go work on that a little bit more. And all you have to do is just click and it'll bring your image back. And to get the crosshairs back, because I'm not having to worry about any space around her now, I'm just going to click back over here to on this little thing right here on the left hand side next to my eraser, and it gives me back my crosshairs, so I can go in and clean up a little bit more to get a little bit more definition. Now, if that was enough definition for you guys, what I just showed you, or when you clicked on yours, you had enough definition, because you may be better at this than I am, then by all means, you don't have to do any more here. But I'm just going to go in and just click a little bit more so I can get a little bit more definition. Just a little bit more. Oh, shoot. I'm just determined to hit that neck part. So you see how anytime I click that black and it takes away the neck, I just click on undo. So I'm going to have to clean this up a little bit more. And I really want this earring to show. And I think I'll be good. I click the black again. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is, I think you have the gist of it, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with removing any more of the white, because I think you have it down. But when you're doing Cricut Draw, if you don't come in and remove this white, your image is not going to be as pretty. Okay, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and click continue in the bottom right corner. And when you get to this part, you're going to click this. It looks really pretty, but that's not what you want, because Cricut Draw, if you click the print then cut, it's only going to draw around her. It's not going to go in and get this part here. Okay, it's only going to draw around her. So you don't want to choose that. You want to go with this image over here, plus you're limited with sizing. When you do a print then cut, you can only do 6.75 by 9.25, so you definitely don't want the one on the left. You want to go ahead and select the image on the right. And it's going to look really wonky, but don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And then you're going to go ahead and click on Save in the bottom right corner. And so you can see, that's why I said no two are going to look alike, because it just depends on how much of that white space you removed. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and select my image, and then in the bottom right corner, select Insert Images. And there she is. And at this point, we're going to come up to our line type, and we're going to change it from cut to draw. Very important that you do that step. Change it from cut to draw. All right. Once you get that done, working with the 12 by 12 mat, we're going to go up here to our lock proportions and we're going to change that. So we're going to click the lock proportions one time. And because you're using a 12 by 24 mat, you can't put in 12 by 24 because Cricut needs a little bit of room. So what I did was I actually did 11.5 by 23. Not 11, not 115 Cricut, 11.5 by 23. Okay, so this is what's going to happen now. So you can see how we have the definition of her hand. All of these little dots and lines in here will be drawn. The little part of the necklace, there's your head with the little hairpiece. So all of this is going to be actually drawn for you, okay? So at this point, you're ready to click on Make It. So in the top right corner, you're going to click on Make It. And again, my settings, I have it at 11 by 23, 11.5 by 23, and then Make It. Now, it's going to tell you at least one of your images is larger than an 11 by 5, and that's because we're using the sizing up to 23. So you do want to make sure that it says 12 by 24 on here, and you're going to just hit OK. And this is the part where if you want to make sure that she's centered on your screen, you can drag her, you know, and move her. But because you're working with the 11 by 5 by 23, you're already pretty much at your size restrictions. But if ever you want to move your image to the middle and then lay your paper in the middle on your mat, you can do that. Okay. So I think we have a lot of definition here. We know we can tell that this is a lady with some kind of headpiece with bangles and necklaces on. And so what we're going to do, oh, you know what? It did not pick up some of her bangles. I'm going to go back here for just a second. I'm going to point this out. So if you get here and you don't see a lot of the definition for the bangle, and now that I look at mine, my image, I didn't get the bangle, so it's not a deal breaker. But if you messed up at this point, guys, you have to go back and remove the white space all over again. Okay? You're not going to be able to do anything with it. You have to start over by re-uploading the image and starting to remove that white space again. You can't just go back to the image that you've already brought in and start modifying it. Okay? Now, because I do see that there is a little bit of something right here that I don't want, I'm just going to take and put a circle. It's just a little area that I missed. And it's good that I did this because I can show you how to fix it as well. I don't want that little dot right there. I don't know what I missed. So I'm just going to line up a little bitty circle as close as I can get it without cutting into the dress. And then I'm going to highlight her and I'm going to slice. And that will remove that little piece of whatever that was. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. I didn't catch these. So this is how you can, if you see anything hanging out on the side here that you don't want, because I don't want that, then just use your slice functionality by highlighting her and your circle. And you can use whatever shape you want to remove it. And there's one piece right up here over her head. And I'm going to put it right there to get rid of that. And highlight her with the circle. And then slice in the bottom right corner. All right, there we go. And then just delete those. So we're ready to click on Make It now. And make sure that it says Draw guys, if it says cut, it's going to cut this image out of your cardstock, and that's not what you want. Make sure it says draw 12 by 24. You do not have to mirror. You're going to click OK. And at this point, you're ready to click on continue in the bottom right corner. Now it's not going to find my Cricut Maker because I don't have my Cricut Maker connected. And for some reason, when I installed my Workforce, Epson Workforce 7720 using the Bluetooth, it took over my Cricut being able to connect to my Bluetooth. So I got to fix that. So what you're going to do at this point is, hold on one second. I'm going to go into my other room so I can finish walking you through the process. So just bear with me 1 minute. All right. All right, I have my Cricut Maker connected now. So I'm going to select my Cricut Maker. I didn't mean to hit Bluetooth, but it's picking it up, look like. Okay, so at this point, what I selected is medium cardstock. And it really doesn't matter if you select heavy or medium because you're not cutting anything. It's just going to draw on your cardstock, okay? So I hit medium cardstock. And at this point, it's going to tell you to make sure that you load your gold or whatever color pen you're using. It's going to be in clamp A. Now, this says black because my image on my canvas is black, but it doesn't matter. Whatever color pen you're going to be working with, that's what you're going to load in clamp A. And then you're not going to be cutting anything. Okay, so it's not telling you that there's anything required for clamp B. So you're only going to use your drawing side, which is clamp A. A couple of things I want to tell you here is I always, when I'm using my Cricut pens, I always take, when I take the top off, I take the top off and then I put it on the other side of my pen. That way I don't lose it. I have a habit of taking it off and then I can't remember where I put it. And you don't want your pen to dry out. So always take that pen, put the top, after you take the little cap off, put it at the top of your pen while it's in clamp A. And then once you're done, remove your pen and then put your top back on, okay, until you get ready to use it again. That's just so that your pen doesn't dry out, okay? So at this point, this is the point where I said, I'm not going to be walking through this process because I'm not going to redo this image. But what I'm going to tell you is this is the part where you're going to actually load your 12 by 24 cardstock onto your 12 by 24 mat, grain mat. And then go ahead and load it into your cutting machine. Make sure you have your pen and clamp A. And then go ahead and allow Cricut to draw it for you. And that's pretty much it. Once it draws it for you, then you can piece it together from there by taking the second piece of cardstock and just fold it in half and then cut it and put that on each sides of your 12 by 24 image in your 18 by 24 frame. Okay, so just so that we are clear guys, you can go back to the beginning of the video where I show you the visuals to help make that ending part make more sense to you. But I just wanted to get you through the part of being able to where I got the image from, what images work better in Cricut Draw with Cricut Draw, and being able to get it on that 12 by 24 mat with no issues. All right. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about the process, feel free to reach out to me and I will be more than glad to assist you. And if you guys are currently in my Facebook group, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, thank you guys so much for being a part of my group. And if not, and you'd like to join us, then please send me a Facebook group request to Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. And you want to make sure you send it to the Facebook group and not my Facebook page, because I do have a Facebook page out there with a similar name that I need to delete because I don't use it anymore. So make sure you're sending the request using Facebook groups. Okay, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. Also, if you are seeing my tutorial for the first time, then hopefully you enjoyed it enough to please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for those of you that are already currently subscribed, thank you so much for being subscribers to my YouTube channel. And as always, guys, click that bell notification so that you can be made aware anytime I upload video tutorials to YouTube. And there's also a playlist on my YouTube channel. And this particular video will be uploaded for my group members. It will be uploaded into the playlist for just the normal crafts, not the sublimation stuff. So there's a playlist out there. And if you go to the playlist, you'll see the categories that I have for my crafts and things. And as always, guys, thank you so much again for being members of my group and subscribers to my channel. And my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day.